Your dreams. You've got to keep dreaming. Your better future is a dream for yourself and for your family. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to see? You've got to dream dreams. Without dreams and visions, people perish. You've got to have something to go for that inspires the heart and the soul. Dreams. Take the crumbs from starving soldiers, they won't die. Take the bread from hungry children, they won't cry. But without dreams, we all will die. You've got to dream. Don't lose your dreams. For yourself, for your future, for your family. The dreams of love and enterprise and travel and doing things. Becoming something unique on your journey here. Don't lose your dreams.
Something ought to be said about that. Welcome to Something Ought to Be Said About That. And today we are privileged to have one of Deborah's friends here who is going to share with us about goal setting and management, time management and planning and all of that great stuff. And I'm going to ask Patty to introduce herself to us at this time.
Thank you, Venetia. My name is Patty Franco, and I have about 20 years of experience in training and development. Many people would classify me as a leadership development expert. And I'm excited to be here today to talk about planning for the new year.
Amen. The new year is upon us and we want to have a plan. So I'm going to start with the scripture that says, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty.
Take what someone else says, process it, think about it, ponder it. If it makes you wonder, if it makes you think, then it's valuable. Then when you go take action, make sure that the action is not what somebody told you to do. Make sure the action is the product of your own conclusion. If you'll follow just a little bit of those simple guidelines, I'm telling you, the learning process can be speedy, swift, powerful. Your learning curve can go up, and then applying it to your business, your life, your family, conversations, equities of all kinds. Philosophy is the major determining factor in how your life works out. Philosophy. The major determining factor in how your life works out. Philosophy. To form our philosophy, you got to think. You got to use your mind. You got to process ideas. And this whole process over a lifetime, starting way back here when we were children, schools that we've attended, our parents, our experiences, all this stuff that we've processed by the thinking process helps to develop our philosophy. And in my opinion, each person's personal philosophy is the major factor in how your life works out. Here's what's exciting about each person's personal philosophy. That's what makes us different than dogs and animals and birds and cats and spiders and alligators. That's what makes us different than all of the life forms. The ability to think, the ability to use your mind, the ability to process ideas, and not just operate by instinct.
And let me just set the basis for this. Why, and I'm sure you have a theory about this. One of the reasons why this is important at the beginning of the year is because every year, people go through this thing of New Year's resolutions. Mm-hmm. And when we look at New Year's resolutions, we get all hyped up. Oh, I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And I'm going to.
Yes.
And we do all of that without a plan, mm-hmm. without a timeline, without attainable goals, without a systematic way of looking at it. Mm-hmm. And what usually happens is we go a couple of weeks into the year, yes. and then the whole thing just kind of goes in a drawer somewhere, and we're in December again, and we're looking at it again and saying, oh, I got to set new goals. So I think it's important for us to understand that it's more than a resolution. Correct. That has to happen. There has to be a systematic long-term set of goals set, a plan in place to ensure that we actually get it done. Mm-hmm. I think what you said about visualizing it is so important, and keeping it before you, because that's the thing that makes the difference a lot of times, the accountability mm-hmm. of having to look at it mm-hmm. and be reminded, oh, this was something I said I was going to do. This was something. So what I'd like you to tell us is, what steps can a person in going into this new year, what should be the steps in their process to planning for their goals for the year?
Sure. Well, I start with a quote that I think is really helpful to get people grounded, and that is, a goal without a plan is just a wish. And it's easy to get excited, just like you wish for something on your birthday. When you blow out the candles, you get really excited in that moment, and you close your eyes and you make your wish, and then an hour later, that excitement is gone. So what I feel is important is to, whether you do this personally, privately in your home, or go to a workshop of any kind, is to really, first of all, sit down and map out that vision. So what we do is we cut up pictures from magazines that identify or create pictures of what those personal values are and what those goals are, and put it on a collage, put it on a board. I like to frame it. I like to hang it in a central place in my home.
Excellent.
It can be a centerpiece. It actually creates dialogue so that when people come over, people you care about and who care about you and what's important to you, they see your vision board, and it's a conversation piece. Like, oh, tell me, what is this picture for? And then I say, oh, well, we're planning a trip to the Caribbean, or my husband would like to work on his business in this way, or I even have my children participate in it, and we say, okay, what would we like to do as a family? So we create a board that inspires us and creates that inspiration, not just for day one of the new year, but the whole year through. So it has to be in a central location. So that's kind of step one, is creating a vision board that you feel is a work of art and that you would frame and have a centerpiece in your home.
Becoming something unique on your journey here, don't lose your dreams. Do some dreaming. That's long-range goals. You've got to have those. Short-range goals, that's your goals for tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, the immediate future. We call these confidence builders. Because if you set up something short-range, go for it, get it, latch onto it, work hard, accomplish it. That starts building your strong feelings to go for your dreams. Make a list of the things you want. And the reason is, part of the fun of having a list is checking it off. Boy, at the end of the day, if you can go, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, whatever it is, right? You get into the habit. So load up your list, the things you want. Now, when you check off something major, celebrate. That's an important point to make. Celebrate your achievements. Live it up. Have a party when you reach something you've worked for a while. See, we all grow from two experiences. One is called the pain of losing. The other one is called the joy of winning. We need both of them. Amplify them as much as you can, which also means make losing painful. If you set up something, fooled around, didn't get it, put it on yourself. On the other side, if you did get it, congratulate yourself. Self-congratulations is a sign of maturity. Seeking congratulations is a sign of immaturity. But hey, winning and losing, see, that's what it's all about. That's the name of the game.
Then step two is really to actually put a concrete plan together. So then you have to say, okay, so if one of our goals this year is to go on a family vacation, how much money do we need? And where is that money going to come from? And how much do we need to set aside on a monthly basis? And what obstacles might get in the way?
Very important. Excellent.
That is a key piece, and that is one of the key reasons why a lot of people do not achieve their goals, is because they don't plan for obstacles or potential failure in achieving the goals. So you have to look at the whole picture and say, I know I'm bad with saving, so what can I do to set this up in a way that will help me overcome that? Do I have to give the money to my best friend and have her put it in her bank account?
That might have to be.
Or do I need to put myself on a very realistic budget? Like, I can't say I'm going to save $200 a month, but I could save $50. And maybe when I get to the 6-month milestone, I can celebrate and reward myself with a new pair of shoes. So that's another key ingredient to success, is setting some rewards for yourself. So if you have a weight loss goal, for example, a lot of people will say, don't set an unrealistic goal of 10 pounds a month or something that feels like, oh, how am I going to do that? You want to set a realistic goal, very small increments, 1 pound a week, 2 pounds a week, and track it. have a chart in your kitchen or in your bedroom or on your iPad or your cell phone that every week you hold yourself accountable and you put what that accomplishment is. Even if it was a half a pound, that's still progress.
right.
It's something to be excited about. But as you see, you lost 1 pound, and then the second pound and the third pound, guess what? Pound 5, 6, 7, and 8 are a lot easier. And so is 12 and 15 and all of that good stuff. So you track your progress and your accomplishments. And then you should also have some sort of accountability. So, yes. So another key ingredient is having an accountability partner. It could be your best friend, it could be a relative, a spouse. I actually know friends of mine who are using Facebook and their Facebook community as their accountability community. So every day they post, hey, I did this towards my goal, or I'm doing this. A lot of people are using the Fitbit bands now to track all of their calorie burning and all that good stuff. So set it up in a way that's fun, that gets you excited, and also has you do a little pat on the back, like, yay, I accomplished something. So those are all some of the key ingredients. And then once you actually achieve a goal, I think people should celebrate the heck out of it. Really share with people that you achieved it. Put something like a star or a check mark on your vision board, or whatever you need to do to really show yourself, look, I set a goal and I achieved it.
So I can have my slice of cheesecake.
Yes.
There you go.
After you do all
That's
the hard
right.
work that comes
That's
before
right.
it. Absolutely.
That's right.
Yes.
That's an important point to make. Celebrate your achievements. Live it up. Have a party when you reach something you've worked for a while. See, we all grow from two experiences. One is called the pain of losing. The other one is called the joy of winning. We need both of them. Amplify them as much as you can, which also means make losing painful. If you set up something, fooled around, didn't get it, put it on yourself. On the other side, if you did get it, congratulate yourself. Self-congratulations is a sign of maturity. Seeking congratulations is a sign of immaturity. But hey, winning and losing, see, that's what it's all about. That's the name of the game. Now, some people lead such mediocre lives, at the end of the day, they don't know whether they're winning or losing. Personal development goals. That's your goals: to be stronger, more decisive, be a speaker, be a leader, learn a language, all kinds of skills. The personal development skills. That's what attracts, that's what brings good things to your life. The person you become, more skillful. Setting goals is plain hard work. It's work. I know it's work. That's why a lot of people just let it slide. It's work. Many people work hard on their job, but they don't work hard on their future. They just let that slide. And the work involved is making plans. I know most people don't. I understand that. But don't let that be you. The people who fail to plan are planning to fail. Write your goals down. Because one of the major people you want to study is yourself. Say, here's the list of goals I put together 3 weeks ago. Here's the list of goals I put together 2 years ago. Here's some of the changes I made, rearrangement of my priorities. I scratched these off, I put these on, I've gotten these. Study your accomplishments, study what your desires are. Put them on paper, write them down. Here's another reason for writing your goals down. It shows you're serious about doing better. And to do better, you gotta get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious.
Everything you said, so many powerful things. And I need to backtrack to some of the stuff you said.
Sure.
Number one, you said you should have a vision goal for your family. And I think that we don't often think of that. You know, when we think of work and our employment and our career and success, we think of goals for those things. But we don't often think about, no, I need to have a plan for my family too. I need to teach the principle of planning, number one, to my children. They need to see us work through this process, and they need to be a part, like you said, of the success of it, the reward of it, so that they learn that this is how they should live their lives as well, that they should have a vision, they should have a plan. And I think that was so powerful. And the other thing is, because where do I want my family to be in 5 years? What do I want for my family? I think that often we get so caught up in the day-to-day that we don't really think about the fact that we should, as a family, have some things that we want to accomplish
Together.
and we should be working together to get it done. So I think that was, thank you for sharing that. I think that was so important. And there was another one.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
When you talked about the fact that you had to plan for things that might
Go
set
wrong.
off
Yes,
your
there you
plan
go.
from going down the road it was supposed to go down. I think that that's really important too.
Yeah.
Especially because in the society we live in, it's just you got to be better and then better and then better and then better, and nobody really thinks about, well, what if things don't go well? Then people's self-esteem starts getting broken down. But if you're planning for this, then you're becoming facile in understanding, okay, well, there is something that might come up against what I'm trying to do. How do I get around that? And like you were saying before, teaching the children, listen, everything isn't going to go hunky-dory all the time.
In life,
What
yep.
are you supposed to do when you have a plan, but something comes to try to block it? What do you do? I think that's really important,
To
too.
teach them problem solving.
Yes.
Excellent.
And it also
Exactly.
helps you sharpen your own problem solving skills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very important because life is full of, well, we call them challenges.
Challenges.
Not problems, but challenges
Yes.
that you have to find solutions for. And I think it is so important that the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go. And when they are old, they will not depart from it. So it's really important that we teach them when they're young how to do, there are going to be problems. Let's help folk who are at that obstacle point. They started out, they set a goal, and maybe the goal was a long-term goal. Because, I know that you know this, there's the short-term goal, there's the stuff that we do short-term, and then there's the long-term stuff that we want. Where do I want to be in 5 years? What is my long-term goal in terms of my career? How do we help those people who are trying to set goals? When setting a goal, what do we need to look at?
Well, you need to look at a few things. Number one, you need to look at making it specific. So again, not having that
Excellent.
wish of, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight is great, or I want to be more healthy. That's very generic. It has to be very specific. I want to eliminate preservatives from my diet is very specific. Or reduce the amount of fat or fatty foods that I eat, or gluten, or whatever it is. That's very specific, and you can track it, you can measure it. So that's one aspect of it. So it should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be something that's action oriented, that you can tell you're either doing it or you're not doing it. So I'm either eating every 2 hours, or I'm not eating every 2 hours, or I'm working out once a week, or I'm, whatever the goal is. It should also be realistic. So for people that have weight loss and health and fitness goals, because that's the most common thing that people set as a goal for the new year, so we'll start with that. It really should start, like for me, to be quite honest, I haven't been in a gym in 2 years. Maybe longer, actually. But that is on my list of priorities for the coming year, and we are going to start with a very specific action. My husband and I will be signing up for a specific membership at a gym that we like.
Okay.
I get excited about taking classes. I get excited about moving around, dancing, jumping around, sweating.
So you're the Zumba lady.
I am the Zumba lady, yes. I am definitely will be attending. The equipment could stand there and collect dust. That doesn't inspire me. I need to be in an outfit, sweating, and just dancing and having some really good music. So the step one is registering, right? Becoming a member at a place, or getting a personal trainer, or doing all of that. Then they say that you should really start with baby steps. So for me, with my lifestyle and my schedule, I'm not going to set a goal that I'm going to work out 3 times a week, because I know that's not realistic, and I'll get frustrated and disappointed very quickly. 1 day a week is probably all I can realistically commit to for a period of time. So maybe the first 3 months, it's 1 day a week. And it's going to take everything with my scheduling and the commitment of my family
make
to allow
that
that to
1 day a week.
happen. Once it becomes a pattern and a habit, and it takes 30 days to create a new habit. So
important.
that's a very important footnote. So if you do 1 day a week for 30 days, then you can increase it to 2 days if you can. Or you can just continue doing 1 day a week and be excited and proud of that. It's more than you were doing before. So it's setting realistic goals. In terms of the obstacles, one of the ways that you can address that head on is by making sure you have a support network. So if it's someone who needs support, you know, maybe they can't afford a personal trainer, but they can have a buddy that they go walking with every morning.
Okay.
And it's social time and it's exercise time. So you kill two birds with one stone, as they say. So you can have structures like that. You also have to surround yourself with positive, like-minded people. So if you
Very
know
important.
that one of your goals is to start a new career, or you're starting a business, let's say, you know, trying to venture into a different area here, having other entrepreneurial-minded people in your network where you can call them and say, hey, I'm running into some obstacles. I'm really disappointed. I had 5 leads. They didn't pan out. What do I do now?
Wow.
They can give you that pep talk. They can say, well, here's what I did. So I think we were talking before the show
Resources.
about having people that are further along the path of success on that line or that goal is very helpful. So someone who's either been there, done that, or is on their way to doing that, and you're a little bit further behind. So you have to have coaches, you have to have mentors, you have to have friends, you have to have spiritual partners, I believe. You have to have a place to go and meditate so you can clear your mind, and that can be in your house. But you should also have a place where you can decompress and regroup and let the creative problem-solving process happen. So I say set up a network of support as well as the accountability. Sometimes people just focus on the accountability partner, like the friend that's going to call you every Friday and say, did you go to the gym? Did you go to the gym? But I also think you need people you can talk to and get advice from, and that's not always the same person. So those are some of my tips on that.
The Bible says, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety.
Yes.
So you're absolutely right. And I think that what you just said is one of the key things that we miss. Because we don't want to tell anybody. Because sometimes, and I think that this is one of the challenges that people face in dealing with, often we're setting goals to deal with things that we are not doing well with. And often we don't want to admit that. And I think the first step in the process to overcoming anything is admitting that it's a problem.
Being transparent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so a lot of time we won't get an accountability partner or a support system because we don't want anybody to know that we have an issue in that area.
Sure.
So we kind of isolate ourselves around that particular area. And everybody goes, are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
everything's
Everything is
great."
wonderful. Yeah, no problems. Great. And the reality of it is, yeah, it's great in this, and this, but over here I'm falling off a cliff, and I don't want to tell nobody because I don't want anyone to know. And I think that we have to understand that we're all human. And that everybody is working on their life. Life is a work in progress.
Exactly.
And that there's no shame or embarrassment in needing help.
Yes.
And I think we have to get to that point where we understand that it's okay to say, you know what? I see you're very good at that. I suck at that. What, can you help me?
Exactly.
What did you do? How did you work that? What do you know that I don't know? What can you share with me? Maybe it was a struggle for you. I was listening yesterday. It was yesterday. Steve Harvey was on something, and he was talking about how he was homeless for a period of time, how he was bankrupt for a period of time, how he went through all, and really, because you look at him and the man of success that he is now, and that's what you see. And what he was trying to share yesterday was his journey. And that it was a journey for him, and that he had to get back up, and he had to pull himself together, and he had to decide that he wanted A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And that he was not going to let his current circumstance. And I think that that's the other thing. And what you said about the weight loss thing, I think that is so important. Because I think sometimes, like you said, we get frustrated. And then we just kind of resolve ourselves to the fact that this is the way it's going to be and we're never going to change it.
Everybody hopes things will get better. Everybody hopes. Poor people hope. That ought to tell you something. It means the future does not get better by hope. It gets better by plan. So get serious about your goals. Put them on paper. Write them down. There's all kinds. His goals, her goals, their goals. Business goals, financial independence goals, family goals. I mean, there's so many things to work on this that if you don't get busy and work on it, sure enough, the time will pass. And sure enough, 5 years from now, you'll wind up where you don't want to be, wearing what you don't want to wear, driving what you don't want to drive, being what you don't want to be. Now's the time to fix it. Check the size of your goals and the kinds of goals. How big they are, what kind they are, affects you. Your goals are affecting you, whatever they are. Your goals affect your handshake. Your goals affect your attitude, personality. Your goals affect the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress. All day long, we're being affected by our goals. Now, some people have goals, but they have such lousy goals. The effect is bad. Define what you want and describe what you want. That's powerful. Goals become like a magnet. They pull you that direction. And the better you describe them, the more they pull. So ask intelligent. Believe you can get what you want like a child. Not an adult. Adults are too skeptical. So the formula really reads, make plans like an adult and believe in them like a child. And the most incredible things will happen. Just try it for 90 days. Just try it. You can always go back to the old ways. Just try it, just 90 days, 90 days.